Today, we're going to talk a bit about kind of what we do, because we're starting to frame it a little bit differently than we have in the past. We're starting to talk more about doing like full funnel marketing on the digital side, where we are doing the marketing kind of top of funnel, paid ads down to social media, and then we're doing website as the conversion metric. And then we're doing on the back end to increase conversion, automations or drip campaigns or nurture campaigns, whatever you want to call it. So I kind of want to talk with you a little bit about those steps, what we think about them, where the real value is coming from, why we do each part of it, and kind of the process, and from an advertising perspective, reason we do it from a cost perspective. So that's what I'd like to talk about. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. So I'm going to get you to kind of give your rundown on what you think a good funnel structure is, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit more detail on that. So go ahead.
And then you can correct me?
Sure, I'll correct you if I disagree.
The funnel structure at the top of the funnel is, you mean like your ads? And the ad, and you'd have like incoming phone calls, I suppose, and your website form. That's kind of the bottom of the funnel.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Your ads and your incoming phone calls. And then from there it goes to
CRM, right?
Yeah.
So form stuff will drive into the CRM.
Yeah.
And then where does it go from there?
There it goes to, we're talking automations, then it'll go to like emails being sent back, or it'll go to your salespeople where they'll put together proposals and follow-ups and that kind of stuff. And after that, we skip the website form.
No, I think you got there. You said after the website form, where does it go? And then it goes to the CRM, right?
Okay. Yeah. The ads to the website form, to the CRM, to the back and forth with the salespeople, automated messaging as well, until the sale is done. And if the sale's not done, then it goes into like a recapture or a lost lead campaign, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And so ultimately, if we break it out, we think of like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and what actions constitute those and how do they matter. So if we're thinking about the Alex Hormozi framework, top of funnel is like one to many, right? And that would be cold. So if you're doing top of funnel advertising, it's one to many. You create one ad, you push it out to a social network, and it's a cold audience. They're not following you. They're not engaged with you really. Social media is kind of the backwards of that. That's the warm audience, right? So it's one to many again. You're posting it out. It's going to everybody. It's public for everyone to see, but ultimately it's to a warmer audience. They follow you. They've seen some of your content. They're already engaged. And so we're not talking about ultimately cold outreach like paid ads is. So you kind of have this structure of the top of the funnel where it's like, how are you getting people in? Well, I've got the cold outreach, which is really, really top of funnel, prospecting, looking for new people, building out impressions, building out brand recognition. Then you have the social media layer, or from an advertising perspective, it might be a retargeting layer where you're saying, hey, if someone's engaged with my content, or if someone is kind of deeper into looking at my website, I might then put them in a new category for advertising. This is a middle of funnel operation, right? Mm-hmm. So you kind of layer this out. And so we handle the ad side, we handle the retargeting side, making sure that we get the top of funnel, the middle of the funnel. And the bottom of the funnel is, hey, these people are pretty much there. They're ready to convert. And so we need to send them to a web page that's going to deal with objections, or content that's going to deal with objections, testimonials, that kind of thing. That's bottom of funnel. Often that happens on a web page. You can take them through a sign-up form or like a flow of some kind that will be a landing page. And then there's, hey, this is what we do. Here's testimonials. Here's proof. Here's our guarantee. And then with that, you can drive conversions. So top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. We manage all that piece, right? Because it's advertising, social media, websites. One step lower than that, though, is once they come in through your website, they fill out your lead form. Now what happens? Well, it goes to a salesperson, and if they get really busy because we're doing a really good job on the front half, are you going to lose the back half of that? You might lose the back half of that. right? Is your sales guy going to be really consistent?
Yeah.
Who knows? And so that's where the email marketing side of things comes in. So you take your pipeline. You might have a pipeline of however many people. You've got your steps in your pipeline. And then you run those steps through automations. Hey, they're brand spanking new right off the website. What are we going to do? Okay, immediately, let's get an email in their inbox so that they know we haven't forgotten about them. The email hasn't not landed somewhere. Mm-hmm. So immediately say, hey, here's our process. This is how long it's going to take for us to get back to you, so on and so forth. If you can, get a sales guy. Pick up the phone. Just make a phone call real quick. Get in touch with these people. Time to lead matters. Then after that, you say, okay, my salespeople are reaching out. They're doing estimates. Now the estimate's sitting with the customer. Well, how often is your sales guy following up? Well, you should automate either a reminder to your sales guy on a very frequent basis to reach out to the customer, or just have the automation send the reach out to the customer itself, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of have those two options. If you have a really good sales team that's good at closing, sometimes it's better to say, hey, it's time to make another phone call. Pick up the phone, get on there, talk to the person, find out what their objections are, handle those objections, close the deal. So that's kind of where we structure now. Total top of funnel to bottom of funnel, but even past that to helping with the sales process, automating that sales process, getting traffic through. I think one of the things that we've found we're pretty good at is identifying where in the funnel is there a break, right? Or where is there room for improvement? You can do that by saying, okay, well, we're getting tons of impressions, but ultimately, and the cost for an impression is cheap, but ultimately we're not getting that many clicks. Mm-hmm. Maybe the call to action isn't that good. Or, hey, we've got tons of clicks to the website, but they're not converting on the website. Maybe we need to A/B test the landing page. Do a different landing page, try a different landing page, drop them deeper in the funnel, create a specific landing page for this, right? Yeah. Hey, they are, I'm getting calls or I'm getting lead form submissions, but they're super weak leads. Make the form more complicated. Qualify the people more as they're coming in. Ask them more questions. And so we're pretty good at coming in and saying, hey, like, what do you need? What's the next step for you to grow? Looking at your data from that funnel perspective and saying, hey, where are the bottlenecks? What is actually keeping you from growing and what's keeping you from getting outsized returns? I think something that like we haven't talked about a ton, but is something that we just do is we really like to have campaigns work. It's kind of the best feeling in the world. Mm-hmm. So we will go in and try to figure out what that issue is for all of our clients all of the time. It's kind of just part of who we are. We don't really talk about it that much. We just want the campaigns to work. So we'll go in and check those things all the time. Yeah. It's part of our culture, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Having things work that we do.
You do need things to work. What part of that funnel are you most excited about or interested in right now?
Am I most excited about? Well, I don't know. I think, well, on the technical side, just the website form and the automation stuff, and because that's where my day-to-day is more lens towards, building the forms out and sending them where they go, making sure they work, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. And then the strategy stuff is more, you're building the strategy usually in the front end, and and then CRM. Seems like we're talking about CRMs more than we ever have now. Yeah.
So. Yeah. The more traffic you build, the more you need to track things, right? And so what pipeline section are you in, and are you going to send the message, and when are you going to send the message, and how's it going to go out, and what system are you using for sending emails and SMS and all that kind of stuff? Yeah. It's stuff we end up talking about all the time because it's high leverage. It's so cheap to send emails. Mm-hmm. Go send emails. It's fairly cheap to send text messages. Yeah. And guess what? People check their phones all the time. So send the text message. It's worthwhile.
Yeah. And it's always a bit of a surprise how many companies are out there that don't actually operate with much of a CRM. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's difficult from a business perspective to say, what's your conversion rate? I know when we haven't had things set up properly, the question is, okay, well, what are our forecasts? What are our conversion rates? How big is our pipeline? You don't have answers to any of those questions if you don't have the system set up to say, these are the steps. This is where someone is. This is where they are in the sales process, all that kind of stuff. Super valuable to have from a data perspective to be able to say, okay, is my business growing? Is my pipeline healthy? But also super practical if you want to come in and automate some stuff. Hey, any of your customers that are in this section of your pipeline, let's start sending them some specific stuff, right? Yeah. Let's send them some news articles, case studies. Let's push them down the funnel a little bit further. Or if they're already talking to us, let's send them those things so that they reach back out to us, or they can make a more informed decision about the purchase they're trying to make, or the product or feature that they're trying to sign up for, right? I think more of business on the marketing side really is about saying, how do I build the pipeline of leads that actually serves me and isn't that I don't have to serve as much, right? Qualifying leads, making sure that the leads that are coming in are quality. And there's a game to be played there. Everyone knows meta ad leads are not amazing, but they come at a fairly cheap price. So then you can get more of them for more of them. You can test more of them for a decent price. And ultimately, if you get 10% or 20% of them are good leads, awesome. That's actually good, right? Mm-hmm. But then there is a game to play of, can we qualify these leads before they get in with the content or the creative? And so I think on our side, we've really been saying to people, hey, this is the way of the future. You got to build the whole thing, convert top to bottom. And a lot of our clients have now kind of started to adopt that system. We have done, hey, let's just run ads, or hey, let's just build a website, or let's just do email campaigns. But when you bring it all together, all of a sudden you have the full funnel, right? And that's all of a sudden way more effective in terms of actually getting new customers. Mm-hmm. So I think it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And we all know with the age of AI, things are going to get more convoluted. Ultimately, is a funnel perfect? No. People don't always follow the same stages. People are sometimes eager to buy and they just jump in and they do it. Sometimes people really need a lot more convincing, and they're going to take way more steps than anything I'd ever lay out. But ultimately, if you're doing these types of categorizations, sure, someone might come in middle of funnel, or they might come in at a different stage, but ultimately it works. Right. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't think we have to talk a ton more about this.
Thanks so much more to say, though.
Do you?
No.
Well, thanks for joining us for this episode. A little bit of a shorter one, kind of getting back into it. And that's a little bit about funnels and full funnel marketing that we're kind of talking about. Have a great day. Mm-hmm.